Alright, so now let's move on to reading section 3. Okay, strictly English. So now, first of all, of course, we need to read this. Okay, and then answer all of the questions here. From 1 to 14, right? Okay, 1 to 14. And the first one, Quỳnh Hương, read that. The mistakes made by his colleagues are minor ones. Okay, are minor ones. Rồi cái so what is the answer? Yes, no, or not given? Yeah, the answer for this one is not given, right? Yeah. So the first one, the mistakes made by his colleagues are minor ones, not given. Okay, now tell me where we can find information. The first paragraph, okay? Yes, okay, the first paragraph, okay? And the first sentence as well. For the last couple of years, I have sent a round-robin email to my colleagues at this newspaper every few weeks, pointing out to them mistakes that we make in our use of the English language. Okay, so here we can see information like colleagues, right? And we can see the word mistakes right here. But what the writer means is that he just, for the last couple of years, he just sent a round-robin email to his colleagues, and then what? And pointing out to his colleagues mistakes that they made. Okay. But here, in the statement, they say that the mistakes made by his colleagues are minor ones. They didn't say anything about whether the mistakes are big ones or minor ones. Okay. So that's why we have to say that is not given. So that's the answer. Yeah, not given. All right, now number 2. Toin, number 2. Yes. Okay, it is important to explain why using correct English is important. And the answer is yes, right? So it is difficult to explain why using correct English is important. Okay, now where can we find the answer for this? Yeah, paragraph 1, line number 7 from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Materials. Yes, that's right. Okay, yes. So here, from line number 7, from the bottom, you can find the answer for that one. Yeah. He asked me whether I would write a book, not just on what constituted correct English, but also why it matters. The former. What does that mean? The former. What does that mean? Guys, the former, what does that mean? Because if you don't understand this, then you can't explain this one precisely. You don't know. So for example, here they are talking about two things. The former, that means the first one. And then at the end they say the later, that means the other one, the last one. Okay? So the former here is what? They said that the former is relatively easy to do. Which one? Because here he asked me whether I would write a book not just on what constituted correct English. So that is the first one. And that is the former one. Okay? What constituted correct English. And the second one, explain why it matters. Two things. Okay? The first one here, he asked me whether I would write a book not just on, that means that write a book about two things. The first one is what constituted correct English, and the second one is explain why it matters. Okay, so two things. And here he said that the former is relatively easy to do. Okay, and then you see at the end he says the latter, being a matter for debate, is less straightforward. Straightforward, what does that mean? Simple or easy to do. Yeah, so less straightforward, that means it's less simple or it's less easy to do. It's hard. Okay, so the former one, that means the first one is easy, but the second one or the last one is very difficult. Okay, yeah, so the former is relatively easy to do once one has armed oneself with the Oxford English Dictionary, OED, and some reputable grammar books by way of research materials. The latter, being a matter for debate, is less straightforward. Okay, so the first one is easy to do, the second one or the other one is very hard. So that's why the answer right here, it is difficult to explain why using correct English is important. Yes. Okay, it's very difficult, it's not easy at all. Now number 3, Ngọc Anh. English grammar has a different function from the grammar of other languages. Okay? What's the answer? No. Okay? Minh, you can fix that again, yeah? Anything you make incorrectly, then please fix that. So English grammar has a different function from the grammar of other languages, and the answer is no. Okay, now tell me where we can find the information. Paragraph 2, line number 6 from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. English grammar has a different function from the grammar of other languages. So here, most of all, I became fascinated by grammar and especially by the logic that drove it, and that was common to all the other languages I knew. I did not intend in those days to earn a living by writing, but I was keen to ensure that my use of English was, as far as possible, correct. Now this one is a little bit too much. We don't need the second one. We don't need this sentence, like I did not intend to in those days, blah, blah, blah. We don't need this. We only need the first one. Most of all, I became fascinated by grammar and especially by the logic that drove it, and that was common to all the other languages I knew. Now tell me why this is the answer. Why this is the answer? Because if you say this is the answer, then it must show the same meaning or the same idea as the statement, right? From the statement, it says that English grammar has a different function from the grammar of other languages, right? And from here, they say, most of all, I became fascinated by grammar and especially by the logic that drove it, and that was common to all the other languages I knew. Why? Why this is the answer? Ngọc Anh. What? What? Fascinated by grammar and especially by the logic that drove it, and that is the same as different function? No. That's incorrect. Who can tell me why this is the answer? Yeah, tell me. Why?
I think that's the response to all the languages I know is opposite with a different function.
That was common to all the other languages I knew is opposite with different function. Okay, why? 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 Because if you can't explain this correctly, then that means that I don't know why you got the answer, but maybe that's luck or something. You must be able to explain this. Why? English grammar has a different function from the grammar of other languages, and you say that is wrong. There's no, right? And you found this sentence, and yes, I agree, but I need your explanation why this is correct. Why is this is the correct place? Yes, that's right. That's right. Yes. Okay, here, most of all, I became fascinated by grammar. Here we are talking about grammar, and especially by the logic that drove it. That drove it here, that means that drove the grammar. And that was common to all other, all the other languages I knew. That means when we say that was common, that means that was the same or similar. Okay? That was common to all the other languages I knew. That means that is the same or that is similar to all the other languages I knew. That means that English grammar is just the same as the grammar of other languages. Okay? But here from the statement, it said that English grammar has a different function from the grammar of other languages. It's wrong. Yeah, because according to the writer, he says that English grammar is just the same or similar to the other to the grammar of other languages. Okay, got it? All right, now number 4, Thiên Nga. Yeah, word order may be as important as the choice of words used. And the answer is yes, right? The answer is yes. That means word order may be as important as the choice of words used. Okay? Word order and the choice of words are as important as each other. Okay? Where can we find the information? Paragraph 3, line number 1, okay? Yeah. Is that all? Studying English at university forced me to focus even more intensely on what words actually meant. Why would a writer choose that noun rather than another? And why that adjective, or in George Orwell's case, often no adjective at all? Was the ambiguity in a certain order of words deliberate or accidental? Is that enough? Now tell me, I need two things. First, word choice, and the second one is word order, right? So here, what are they talking about? Word choice or word order?
Word order.
Yes. What? Where?
What word actually means why would a writer choose that noun rather than
Okay, now what words actually meant? Why would a writer choose that noun rather than another? And why that adjective? So what is that, word order or word choice? Yeah, that is word choice, not word order. Okay? That's just the choice of words. So should we choose this noun or the other noun, or this adjective or the other adjective? So that's just word choice, not word order at all. You understand? Okay? I need to say something about word order as well. And they must mention that the word order and the word choice is just as important as each other. Where? Okay, so you say that we can find something about word order here. Like for the second part of my degree, I specialize in the history of the English language, studying how words had changed their meaning and how grammar had evolved. Language had become not just a tool for me, but something of a hobby. Where does he mean about word order in this case? Where? Which one? I can't see it. So that's the word order. How words have changed their meaning. They changed the meaning, and what does it mean? What does it say about word order? No, that's not the correct place. Yeah? Not correct. Where? So now what are we doing here, guys? We are trying to make sure that we understand why we have to choose that type of answer. Yeah? And to make sure that you answer correctly, you have to find the location where they talk about all of the points in the question. Yeah? And you compare, and then you say, okay, all of the points I mentioned right here. Because if you miss something, that means that maybe your answer is not correct. You must be able to find all of the information related to the question. And here, we need two things. The first one is word order, and the second one is the choice of words. Two things. And here, from what you said, we just find the word choice and not the word order. Who knows? Who knows? Please tell me. Where? Guys. Yeah, so you mentioned two sentences here. Was the ambiguity in a certain order of words deliberate or accidental? The whole question of communication is rooted in such things. Okay, now explain why or what. What does that mean? Because you can read that or you can read whatever, but if you can't explain, then it's meaningless. Why? What do you think that's the answer? The word order, yes, we can see the word like a certain order, right? A certain order of words, yes, that means word order, yeah. And where did it say anything about they are as important as each other? Studying how words had changed their meaning and how grammar had evolved. Language had become not just a tool for me, but something of a hobby. No. Where is it? Yet actually you read that one already, but you couldn't explain it. The right sentence here is the whole question of communication is rooted in such things. The whole question of communication is rooted in such things. Such things here, what does that mean? Such things, what does that mean? What are you talking about? What are the things they are talking here? What? Deliberate and accidental, that's an adjective. And here when we talk about such things, we are talking about nouns. Two things. That is the order of words, and the other one is word choice. Okay, here, because here you see before that sentence they talk a lot. They studying English at university forced me to focus even more intensely on what words actually meant. I mean, looking at the meaning of the words and why should the writer choose that noun rather than another. And why that adjective? So that is, they are talking about word choice. And then they talk about words, the ambiguity in a certain order of words, deliberate or accidental. So that is word order. And then they make a conclusion. The whole question of communication is rooted in such things. That means the whole question of communication is based on those two things. I mean, those two things are very important for communication. Yeah? So that's the meaning of this sentence. The whole question of communication is rooted in such things. That means those two things, word choice and word order, are the two important things for communication. And they are very important. So that's why they say that word order may be as important as the choice of word used. And the answer is yes. Okay? Yeah? Yeah, a little bit shocked. Okay. Yeah, okay, so that's it for our lesson today. We will continue tomorrow, yeah? Okay.